Hey guys! Welcome to the Trioka Mantra podcast again with your host Shanae,
Destiny,
Malaysia,
and then we have a guest speaker.
Special guest, Miss Miko, our Aunt Miko. Woo! Today we're going to be talking about the foster care system, and we're basically just going to be sharing all the information that we found, stories that we have. So if that sounds like something you want to watch, please stay in store. I couldn't find like a necessary like the definition, but basically foster care is it's supposed to be an out of home temporary care for children when the family cannot take care of anyone, basically. Yeah. That's so broad, I feel like.
It is
but
so broad.
I guess it's a broad situation because everyone's story is going to be very different. You know, some people are abandoned right as a baby. Some people get in the system at 12. So it's like...
It's from the ages from like newborn to 18.
Yeah, to 18. Yeah, because once you're 18, you're out the system, right?
Yeah.
You're out the system. Well, that's a long time to be in the system.
And a lot of people, when they leave foster care to 18, are homeless.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And, like, they're
too.
more prone to mental health issues, and like there's like, I forget, it's like a low percentage of
Yes.
people who even like graduate.
I have a whole list. They said the disadvantages of foster care are they are 7 times more likely to experience depression, to have behavioral problems, 5 times as likely to have anxiety and abandonment issues, 3 times more to have attention deficit disorders, that's like ADHD, ADD, and they feel abandonment for the majority of their life, regardless of the situation at hand, because everyone's is different, but that was the main feeling that all of them felt in the end was abandonment, 100%.
Yeah.
That was so sad. In the USA currently, there are over, I'm really bad with numbers, 400,000 children in the foster care system as we speak. I tried to find the number anyone find the number for Pittsburgh? I really want to find Pittsburgh's number.
I didn't find that number.
I wasn't able to
Well,
find
it would be like Allegheny County.
Allegheny County specifically.
You look at Allegheny County.
I'll look it up right now.
Okay.
I'm looking up right now because I want to know. Allegheny County.
How much did it say overall?
In the USA it was 400,000. 400-000. Is that 400,000? Okay, I'm really bad with numbers, huh?
I seen something like it said approximately 13,000 to 15,000 PA.
Yep. So that's
Damn.
Yeah.
That's the whole picture.
That number breakdown changed something for me right there. Like that's a
hefty number.
That's a hefty number for just
one
us.
state.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know how, does it say how much revenue that the foster system creates for PA?
Ooh, I didn't even.
No. We should have asked you for some breakdown questions. Good. I would love to know.
Right.
You said the breakdown what?
Revenue.
The revenue. They have a budget. They start with a budget. What's the budget? What's the revenue? Do they make a profit?
Yeah.
I didn't even think of who benefits financially from the foster care system. Only what? The government?
The government,
I thought the
hospitals,
the churches,
the
hospitals. I guess. Okay.
Like foster families, group homes.
Yeah, group homes,
mental health
people.
places.
Some people, you know, in general.
Yes.
Oh my God.
A lot of people benefit.
I never even thought about it. I forgot it was a whole system. Someone's making money off that itself.
All these.
Social work.
Social workers. Transportation.
Systems built up. I didn't think
School.
Yeah, I just found things like in the law that they were just like saying a lot of people can't adopt if they're not religious.
Yeah, that. What states did you say?
Alabama and
Was it Arizona?
Arizona.
It was 2 A's.
It said you can't adopt if what?
Like religious, like they denied a couple of people because they don't follow religion, like their family's not religious.
Right.
They said they couldn't adopt.
Right.
That's damn dear. I'm still stuck on that. I thought it was Felicia again.
And that's what makes some people a liar because you want to adopt. So you say yes, I belong to this church.
Yeah, but you're restricting people because of religion.
Right, which they do a lot in America.
Man.
They do. But this is children.
Even though it's supposed to be separate church and state,
they don't
they
don't separate.
But the government and religion coincide with each other a lot.
Yes, they do.
And maybe I'm not saying it. Give an organization like a church giving away. People are like, oh, the church is giving away
shoes,
book bags, little stuff like that.
Anything.
But the churches collect a lot of money a year,
Yeah.
and all they're giving back to their parishioners is donated items.
Yeah.
Miss me with that.
It's always
Miss me with
donated
that.
items. It's
Miss
always.
me with that, but
Oh,
that'll
they
be on our
donated from
church
this-
topic.
Damn.
Ooh.
You really spoke.
Really?
It's like I knew that, but I didn't think
Yeah.
about it in a backwards perspective. Like, whoa.
And now I'm like,
That's the only
damn.
thing they ever give out is free clothes, donated clothes, free.
But nothing they get themselves with all that money they be getting.
Oh my God.
That's like the most corrupt system there is.
Yep.
A lot of systems made out of tradition in America are corrupted systems because when they were created, they weren't created for everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
this America is an experiment. An experiment was created for certain people, and everybody else was a laborer of the experiment. So anything that was created then, well, that's still going on now, is not created for these people. Because everything in the world today, the pen is more dangerous than the gun. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Because they write stuff down and it become laws, and
Yeah.
it's not, they know it's not suitable for everybody, but because certain people, it benefits certain people, they keep it like that. Is it fair or no? Can we change it? I don't know. Can we change it?
Shit. You're gonna have to come the right people to change it.
Yeah.
And if you don't spread
But
that.
literally, the change starts in your mind.
Yeah.
So just don't participate in it and it just disappear.
Yeah.
Like, quit giving power to things that don't suit you.
My business teacher just asked me that. Gerald, he asked me
I was
about
to
the
say
dollar.
The dollar.
Yeah, he was like, what is the power behind the dollar?
A lot.
And then he was asking about, I don't remember it right now, but like people didn't even know who owned the dollar. Like,
Right.
We didn't know, like you carry this
Money
company
is
around
a
with you, but
receipt.
you don't even know.
Yes.
Who, it's like the department or something. And it's like, oh, I didn't
Department
even
of
know.
Revenue.
Yeah, yes, the Department of Revenue. They own money, and most people don't even know who they are. So it's like you're walking
never heard of
around
that.
with a business in your pocket.
Let me
'Cause you know
tell
Gerald.
you, this
He be on
Asian
it.
man said, why should I save money when rich people can print money?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I want to do. That's what I was like, for real.
That's
I don't
the
even
first
know. I don't even fucking
And
know.
Gerald be talking some real facts. He was telling me about that, what's his name? Nelly Jr. something? Neely? He was from, his grandparents were in Black Wall Street.
Okay.
And he has a podcast. He's older, but he has a podcast and he talks a lot about like the system, like American system, and like how the people, like the reason why it keeps us like thriving is because the white people like in this government have the code. And they said that the black people lack that code.
Right.
Well, we did build the code, what did they do? Take it away.
Well, the code systems is like redlining, saying that in the deeds to this neighborhood, all the deeds says no blacks can live in this neighborhood. Redlining is a code, and blacks not being able to hold jobs, top jobs in government is a code. You know what I'm saying? You just, that's why there was only one. Barack Obama was. You ain't never had no president from the projects. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, prime example. The little black lady they just made the justice.
Oh, I seen it. I don't know her name.
You
but I
know,
just
that
seen it on
was the
TikTok.
kind of a breaking of a code.
Yeah.
To put the black woman in there. That's why they got had to bring out the book on racism and everything right now. So codes are very important because there's also codes in religion.
Yes, there are.
So all these systems come with codes. And
I
if you
gotta
don't
send it to y'all. It's the Numbers Have Power book, and it talks about that. And just, we already know when it comes to numerology, but even deeper than that, how every single government has a specific number
Yes, the
tied to
whole
them.
justice system is in a code. When you go to court, they gonna say the codes. Then they're gonna say what it is. You gotta know what them codes is they reading.
Yeah, even in the Army, we'll have dash something means this, dash something. Even my job.
We got codes.
Yeah.
Social Security number.
Yeah, Social
Right.
Security itself is a number-based
Codes,
system.
they're coding.
Yes, code. It's a
It
whole
was
thing.
He said as soon as you find one, like decode one thing in the system, you can destroy it from the inside.
Yeah.
Pick it through.
Hackers do that on a daily. They really do.
See, you gotta decode life like that, and you gotta take your time until you start. When you start seeing the patterns, it'll just be like Pac-Man. You'll just move around and shit. But the obstacles is, a lot of these obstacles is man-made. They're not.
Yes.
Nature didn't make them. You understand? Nature didn't make all this stuff. Man made it.
You look up the.
I used to watch The Fosters.
Okay. We can talk.
I never seen that.
It gave you some insight.
I
on
never
what the
seen
foster
it,
care
sir.
You
could
gotta.
be
I
like.
used to watch it in the house.
Yeah.
I used to watch it in the house, so you
Okay.
would, if
I've
you
probably
would
seen
see
it.
it, you would see it.
Okay.
But that was definitely
So much drama.
so much drama. Like
But TV is drama.
yes,
That's
it
what TV
is.
is made to be.
But I think for us not being in the system, it gave us something to understand of, okay, so this is a little bit of what they go through. I mean, it didn't even touch the surface. It touched, but it didn't touch
It
the
didn't go
surface.
in.
Right.
I've
Yeah, it
seen
didn't
some
go
better
in.
stories, which I gotta put you on, stories of girls and boys in the system. But I do have to say that TV show, I don't know, taught me a lot, I guess, from the little bit that I did see. Some of the
still ain't
characters went
easy.
through more. Yeah, it's not easy.
I do know
Yeah.
some other stuff. I remember like social workers used to come out to the house because like I was almost in the process of foster care many times.
Oh my.
So like, yeah, and then like I feel like I kind of was like adopted a little bit from like me house hopping, even living like
Yeah, I was about to
Right,
say.
it's basically the same thing.
It just wasn't on the
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, I just got lucky, and I was with family because
Right.
like family
That's-
can do
yes.
foster care also.
Yes. They
Right,
can.
but they make you say,
Yeah.
I never did, I could have did foster care for all y'all, but then I was a foster kid, I
Yeah.
don't fuck with the system.
Yeah. It was just
And
like
then,
not
that, like when Grandma Betty first died with y'all, I came and pick you up, you know, and that when I had to call, because you can't just take some kids, you
Yeah.
know, even if somebody died.
And I was under her care before that, right?
You would see what happened was she had custody of y'all. When Grandma Betty died, your custody just went back to your mom and dad.
Oh.
But, you know, when mom died, your dad ran up the
Yes,
street.
he ran.
And I didn't know where your mom was. So mom always said, if something happened to me, take the girls.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't really care what the law at
Yeah,
that
to
time meant.
say.
You know, my job was at that moment to take the girls. Now I didn't know if y'all was gonna stay. All I knew at that point, I had to take y'all cause, and your dad came and stayed down there too.
Yes,
So
I
at first it was
remember.
all three of them, and then Daniel left or whatever.
Mm.
But then I went and got emergency custody because people knew mom died, and you know it wasn't like people was calling to say, "What about Destiny and Tier?"
Yeah.
And then, anyway, through the first couple weeks with y'all, your best bet was just to stay with me.
Yeah, I didn't want to go nowhere
Yeah.
else.
It's
Like,
like-
I was traumatized. I
So
was tired.
I just went and filed for emergency custody.
Emergency custody.
But like
Yeah,
even
I know
if
that
like
existed.
you weren't a part of the system, you were still like fostering them.
Yeah.
Because that's
Right.
like what it really means. It just wasn't part of the system.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foster
Foster
under
care
the
could be
foster.
caring.
Yeah, anytime
Yeah.
you're
It's
not
not
with
part
your
of the
parents is basically a form of fostering.
The thing is, the school companies need to fucking realize that, because you get extra money when you're a foster care student.
But
You get a whole
this is
different
another
check.
thing. When your
Right.
family keeps you, they're not always qualified. for
Yeah,
That's
I guess
true.
yeah, which
Right.
makes no sense
But
to
y'all were
me.
just
But
lucky to have
that's the
people that
point sometimes, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so I think for y'all, for me to get foster care for y'all, I had to put y'all in the system and do all this
And
stuff.
then hope that we would get back to you, because once you're in the system, sometimes I think that's what happened on the foster. Like someone was back in the system, and then they got
Oh.
adopted. Yeah, like
Yeah.
nasty shit. can
One lady
happen.
lost her grandkids for years in the
Yeah.
system. They couldn't find them. But she took
That
her
stresses
classes
me
and all that
out.
shit. No, you're
I
not
couldn't
gonna do
even
that.
imagine.
Like I said, I was a part of the system. It's a system. It's not a. The two families that I lived with, they didn't treat me wrong. I'm not saying, but they wasn't my family.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there was abuse going on in my home, and my mom was an alcoholic.
How old were you when you went to the first home?
Probably about 8.
8. Oh my god.
And it was around the holiday, so this old lady, we had a caseworker. We used to have foster grandmas because Grandma Betty was an alcoholic, and the caseworkers would come. And then one day, a little old white lady showed up, and she was like, "We got Christmas gifts for y'all in the car." And when we got in the car, they took us to the Yeah, so
That's what they told you? And that was you,
What?
my dad, and Kiana?
Yeah.
Y'all three? Just y'all three?
Yep, because Lisa was 18, and Mark and Liz didn't live there. And then they take you to the hospital, you get a whole exam, and then they drop you off at some stranger's house.
That almost made me cry.
I know.
Think about my little dad going
And
through
your
that.
dad didn't even get to go with us. Me and Kiana went together, but your dad was somewhere else. But then your dad ended up. So basically, if your family can take you, they used to call around back in the day. And if your family can take you, and they passed the paperwork or whatever, so Big Dan's mom at least took little Danny, but she was older.
Whose mom?
Big Dan's mom.
Big Dan's mom.
Yeah, your great grandma.
Okay.
At least took little Danny because he was little.
Yeah.
And he already had some health issues and mental health. He already was born with that stuff. So she took him. And then it was me and Kiana. We lived together in McKeesport. But then that was temporary. And then after that, one of us got taken to a more long-term home, and she went to another long-term home.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my dad says he doesn't remember a lot because he doesn't. And he told me, he said, I don't let myself remember what happened. Yeah. Because I don't want to remember. I was like, okay, Dad, I'm not going, you don't.
And he was probably about, we was in foster care for about 5 years. And then another thing, you used to have visitations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about that.
Like it's jail.
And they used to have to meet you at a place. Like when I first had visitations to come to the CYF office, my family would come. Grandma Betty be drunk as fuck, she coming.
Yeah.
There'd be little kids there the whole time at the window like this. Their
motherfucking
moms never showed up.
Yeah, that was on there too. It was just a clip.
So it's not just the system fault. There's some rotten ass parents.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, maybe we should revive
that. There was
that
a whole bunch of little kids who their parents never showed up.
Yeah, for real.
Yes.
Just sitting there waiting.
Don't say you gonna come, junkie bitch.
Yeah, just don't say
Just say I'm a junkie bitch and I'm never showing up. Don't say I'm coming and you ain't coming.
Yeah.
Right.
For real, no.
Sometimes it could be good. Foster care can be good.
Yeah.
It can turn out.
I know people who was abused in the foster care system. I had the 2 families I lived with, they was black families.
Oh,
I can't be playing about that because a lot of black kids did end up with black families, and I'm not saying all white families is bad, but it was
sometimes
it was a
you
little.
should be raised with the people that you look like for a reason.
Right.
And people just got to be okay.
And
with it.
my first family was in McKeesport. They treated me good. And then I lived in Garfield. My foster mom used to give me bus. I used to have to do my chores. Mm-hmm. And on the weekend I did my chores, and she gave me money, and I used to go bus riding. Mm-hmm. And she taught me a lot. Mm-hmm. I had good foster.
Felicia, she on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Period. Welcome. Yep. Tell us about your little bit of time in the system.
I didn't have too bad of an experience with the foster care system, thankfully because of my grandmother, but I went through CYF, or I guess they call it CYS now.
Oh, really? They changed the name?
Yeah,
they
definitely
did.
changed.
Oh.
Yeah, the Children Youth Services, maybe like 3 times actually. First time, me and my mom, we were sleeping in cars because we actually lived up Duquesne Place, but the issue with Duquesne Place at the time, it was getting like really bad, and we were getting like robbed like back to back, like knives, gunpoint, everything. Like there was one point where we had to like hide in a bathroom until the cops came, which the cops did nothing.
I can't believe they think it's better for now.
2 guys came in our house with a gun. So, yeah. But so I was never mad at my mom for that, but we did get caught sleeping in the car, and so obviously they called CYF on that. And the second time was for abuse, and third time was also for abuse. I was in the foster care system basically like the second time because my grandmother wasn't, she wasn't in PA at the time whenever it was called, and I was just like sitting in the police station, and they had like nothing like they could do for me. Right. So for like the next 2 days I was like placed with this family over in Carrick. Really nice couple. They bought me a bunch of clothes and everything, and even at the end whenever my grandmother came back, I did get to keep the clothes and everything. They let me keep it, and they're really like sweet people. So, but I do always wonder like what it would have been like if I would have grown up with them.
Yeah.
instead. But I do love that I got to stay with my grandmother. But like I said, I did go back with my mother, and then more complications after.
Right.
So, but if I would have just stayed with them, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah.
They had a good amount of money. Pretty good amount of money. Like, yeah.
They was ready, so they
were
bought
very
you
From
well
foster
off.
kidding though.
Yeah.
They were very well off.
Right.
So
Do you know if they were like working up to adopt you?
yeah, they were.
Okay.
Do you
They
still
were
know
good.
them?
Yeah, that's what
I was about to say.
I used to visit my foster.
No.
Well, I never remembered the ones in. But I did go back and visit Miss Marlene. That was her name, because I stayed with her like 4 years.
I do remember where their house is though.
Yeah.
You should try.
I could go.
Yep, you just
What was
showed.
her
They
age
were.
range?
Miss Marlene knew me. She see me. She was like, "Hot damn."
She's
'cause
still alive?
I don't know if she's still alive now. But when Manuel was a baby, Unique was a baby, I took him over there. And she was like, "I'm a pass out. You got kids." And she took him to the store and bought him something. Yeah.
You gonna try to find them?
No, I don't really want to try to find them to be honest.
Yeah.
But they were cool, good.
It was
people,
nice
though.
people.
Yeah, but like,
Like,
yeah.
But
And
I-
remember, when
yeah,
you
she
first
was-
come to foster care, they give them a grant for you, because some kids come butt naked. You didn't have no clothes.
no,
they
I
have-
I had
But if they're not up
Yeah.
to, when you first come and they think you're gonna be there a while, they get some money. So
That's how you
can
get
go
the bed and the
clothes
dresser and
bed.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My when I went with my grandmother then, like there's a program called Second Chance.
Mm-hmm.
So and Second Chance, they gave my grandmother a bed,
Yep.
Yeah, because that's the same
dresser.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have the
I
same
thought
bed
so.
in that room. I'm always welcome to that room.
Eh.
But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff, a computer, like they even like will pay for your college if you're in there for a certain amount of time. But unfortunately, I was like right under the amount of time,
Right,
or like
right,
I was. It was before I was 13 or something. It was some weird
There's something
Right, there's
loophole
some-
that they found to not give
Yeah.
every foster kid
Right.
money. So it's not like
Yeah.
every foster kid actually.
And
gets
I
it.
didn't even know foster kids got stuff, but I
Yes.
came back home to my mother at a certain age, so I probably wouldn't have
Yeah.
qualified for anything, even though I was in there 5
There's
years.
specific scholarships, grants. I mean, that's beautiful for them. But they do like advertisement as if everyone's
Yeah,
getting it,
yeah.
forgetting
And
that
it's
all
not.
the stories
And
are
there's too
so
many
different.
loopholes.
And we just said most of them end up in a bad place. So
You can't even help
obviously,
them get out that
them little quirky things, like a kid who, in the foster system, they go to CCAC for free, like
Yeah.
everybody else. But do they know this?
I'm gonna try to look up the amount of how many kids in foster care actually go to college in the year,
Right.
because we're talking about this grant and this whole money for them.
Right.
How many of them are actually using it in the
Right.
damn
And
man?
Do
then
they
someone
even
said that
tell
they drop
them? You know?
dropout
Yeah,
rate
they
is
drop
high.
out rate, a higher dropout rate.
Right.
And look
Right,
up
because
Second
it's not,
Chance.
you're going through a whole
Second
bunch of
chance.
personal stuff and you still have to go to school. And if you're a little kid and not aware, it's
Hopefully the
different.
kids
But if
know
you're
that
aware of
they
what's
are
going on
foster
with
kids.
you,
Yeah.
it's stressful.
Yeah.
I was very
Yeah.
aware. I was very aware.
Yes,
Like I
if
said,
you're
I went through
aware,
3
it don't
times,
matter
so-
how old you are. You know you're being taken away. Now, granted, if you're getting I used to go to school at Arborlee.
Oh my God, over in McKeesport.
Yeah, because when you first become a
Damn.
foster kid,
I had an internship
they don't
there.
have your school records.
They got my bid in there. I was with them for something else. I had like an internship there.
Uh-huh.
But the lady still liked me and she got me hooked up. She was like, yeah, there's something here at Arborlee. You can get free furniture if you're in a
Okay.
bad situation. So all my first furniture for my first apartment,
Right.
Arborlee funded.
Well,
Only
when-
my bed we sleep on, that's still the same bed. That's
It's
a
a
nice
nice
bed.
bed. It is a nice bed.
And I was like, my little ass with this
Yeah, I
queen
used to have
size
to go to-
beautiful
I
bed.
used to
Thank
go
you,
to school for
Arborlee.
it.
It was
The foster
comfortable.
kids over that way, when they first take you, they don't have none of your school records. So you can't, they just don't put you in a regular school. So you go to a school well, that's how they used to do it. And so it was like a 2-room school with a whole bunch of foster kids, stressed out. It was not, they start you from kindergarten, it don't matter what grade you were in. A lot of kids was frustrated
Wait, they start you at kindergarten even if you're like 8.
because they don't have none of your school records.
I mean, you can tell they ain't going to kindergarten.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
my
like-
God! So
that's like
imagine like
ninth
a
grade.
12-year-old.
That's so
Yes.
frustrating. I understand why
Yes.
they have to go to school with other kids. Like,
And it was like a 2-room classroom. And granted, I probably was there. Was Kiana there? Yeah, Kiana was there. Me and Kiana was there. You went there until they got your school records or until you got placed or something. I can't remember. And all the kids in these 2 classrooms was foster kids. They was all different ages. And I remember one time they locked the door and I started acting crazy with this little white teacher in there because they could yes. And yeah, it was a little chaos. I remember one of the girls would run away. She was like a teenager. Now she lived at Arborlee, or she went to school there, but she was older. And she would always threaten to run away. And they used to say, you can have your coat or your shoes. You can't have both.
What?
Because they didn't want her to run away. And then if you was, some of them kids, if they was real bad, they'd be like, we're going to send you home to your parents if you don't be good. And they would cry because it was the kids who was abused at home.
Wow.
They couldn't say that to me because I would be like, bitch, blah, give me the bus.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to our podcast episode about the foster care system. If that was good to you, if you liked it, leave a comment, a like in the description.
Subscribe.
Come on now, y'all.
Subscribe to our channel.
We got Facebook,
Twitter.
TikTok, I think.
Twitter.
We got it.
No.
We'll drop all of that right here, right
And the
now.
link down below.
It's right off.
If you want to hear more stuff about like
I know
other
where y'all
stuff,
going.
Yeah, like by the shoe shop, over the bridge.
Then stay in store for that. Till next time.
Which is
Peace out.
that there's a bougie report.
Well, I got a story about that too.
They got money there.
you missed.